Disruptor. There, good counter to the lasso here. You have the glimpse to somewhat deal with the initiation. Decent catch. Just kind of a well-rounded support pick, really.
A decent harass as well coming out in the lane.
Everyone just starts sitting up straight.
Gollum, get you gone.
No slouching.
Yeah. There you go.
Posture, boys. Yep.
So who do we favor? Because obviously on paper it should be energy pacemakers, but to be honest, TongFu.WanZhou.
I like the creativity. I'm not completely confident it's going to work, but I feel like they have good spam for the drought push. They have a pretty good Tinker game. Sure, there's Batrider, but that's really it. That's their only catch for this hero, and he's going to have a lot of support. He's going to have the Hawk to scout, the Clockwork Rocket to scout, so it's not like he's running around the map blind. They should have vision in general on the bat, and I think they can slow down the push. They should have a decent laning stage. Tinker a pretty strong laner in general. Baden is not really a lane dominator. That's the one downside to this pick, is it really takes the wind out of the sails. Like, let's just win all 3 lanes with Drought and win the game in 20 minutes. So
that's the thing. I feel EP need to win their lanes, right? They need to get that early momentum going, while WanZhou in the laning phase, the first 10 minutes, let's say, they have a little more room for error, whereas EP, they need to get the ball rolling.
But they win the lanes every time, so I don't think that's... At least that's how it seemed in the EP game.
That's what it looks like.
As a team, they just win the lanes, even almost regardless of draft, it does feel like.
They seem to win the lanes, and then their mid-game decision-making isn't so good, and that's what's kind of tricky for them, because I don't think they win this late game. Like, they... Or, well, let's see. What's the late game situation like? So Batrider's a really good late gamer. Venge is one of the best supports late game. They're playing a core Windranger, and the only core on the enemy team really is a Tinker. So maybe they could actually take it late, too, this time. They need to be really careful when it comes to the mid-game, though, that they don't get like split out and get picked off all the time. That's kind of the biggest threat, is the moment Tinker forces heroes to split around the map with his split push, their lineup is super deadly. So ideally for EP, good lanes, try to timing push around minute 25 and see if they can end the game, but they're pushing into Tinker. It's not that easy.
Yeah, for Beastmaster, I mean, the pushing potential for TongFu Beastmaster basically is it, with in terms of taking down towers, split pushing maybe with a Necrobook. If they don't get a couple of towers in the early to mid game, they're gonna have a really tough time trying to go high ground later on. I feel.
Morphling eating the fish bones.
Yeah.
You aren't Shadow Demon.
That does not look comfortable.
That does not look like a morphling.
He looks like
Kill me now.
I remember that effigy. That's when it came out. Kill me. One of my favorites.
What's the matchup like at mid? Beastmaster, Windranger.
I think that's even.
I think it's pretty even.
Beastmaster is the buff to his base damage. Pretty ridiculous.
He's also he's got high base armor. He can take the Windranger auto attacks pretty well. The board can somewhat control the runes and the Windranger out, but at the same time, Windranger is a ranged hero versus melee.
He might just get a stout shield even.
Yeah. So you're probably going to see Windranger.
But there is the Drow aura is the big X factor here. I think that tips it slightly in the Beastmaster's favor, or against the Beastmaster, I should say. That's a cool pose.
It is. Which lane do you feel like is gonna have first blood?
The Batrider lane.
Batrider's gonna die first? That's very pessimistic.
Glimpse into Chilling Touch.
Yeah, but there's not much help coming out from the Tinker.
They don't have the best killing potential on the laning stage.
Neither team does, really.
Well, I could see a rotation happening with maybe an Abaddon and Avenge. Who knows? They can dive the tower with that. You can go...
Level 1 Curse of Avernus. Let's go.
Boots first.
It's good sometimes.
With the Frost Arrows?
I think killing the Clockwork's actually going to be super difficult for EP in that offlane.
No, you can Avenge and Abaddon, roam mid, kill Beastmaster.
Oh, kill the Beast.
Shield to take some tower damage to tank it up.
I think it's really unlikely.
Not an easy kill.
It's a difficult kill. It's super unlikely because it gives Clock a lot of space in the start. I think they want to try to shut him down because he will really make life hard for the Drow in the mid game. Of course, they do have swap like we talked about, but the Aphotic Shield is not going to be that effective against the Clockwork. I think it's mainly good against the Roar. But I think the way TongFu want to take the fights in the mid game anyway, they don't want a team fight. They just want a skirmish. So shutting down the Clock is probably a really good approach. Just slowing him down a little bit. Congratulations, newbie. You won TI. So did Alliance. So did IG. And Navi.
I wonder what's going to happen if they run out of space. Where's the next person? Where's the next team going to go?
Are they ever going to update that blue background?
No.
All right.
Okay.
Yes, they're going to update in exactly 30 hours.
It's posted on Reddit. It's going to get
30 hours and 22 minutes.
And change it to purple.
15 seconds.
Change it to purple to annoy Reddit more. Everyone's been shouting to change the purple backdrop of hero picks to gold.
Yeah, that's true. Do you think
They're too busy polishing the Immortals, guys? Okay, relax.
Or we're working on
What happens
it's
if
really polished?
What happens if they release Immortal 3 before Immortal 2?
They should do that just to try.
Yeah.
You mean Immortal 2 Episode 2?
Yeah.
So, I actually wanted to, since we're paused anyway and we were looking at the Aegis, what do you guys think? Okay, so this is not really directly connected with the qualifiers, but with TI as a whole. A lot of people were skeptical about Newbie getting a direct invite. They've been looking pretty good lately from what I remember.
think it was...
Yeah.
They beat Vici,
Deserved.
they beat IG, I think, and they beat LG or something like that. They at least beat two of those teams very recently.
I mean, who could you really argue was overlooked? Alliance had just changed their roster. You cannot invite them. Navi had just changed the roster, had not done much. You cannot invite them. Rave, to me, was the big question mark, but I think from Valve's point of view, they didn't feel SEA was that strong. They don't want to invite two SEA teams, and they chose Malaysia. I don't actually think there's anyone who was a clear invite, and therefore I think Newbie, you have to go with the defending champions.
Yeah.
Even if their roster is somewhat different.
Yeah,
It was still 3 out of 5 players.
and they have been looking up lately. They maybe, like, you know, previous results might not have been up to par purely because of lack of practice, which was the case. But right now they look pretty decent. Yeah.
Well, with that said,
Oh, they see them.
looks like we're going to hop into our game here. Shiver,
Yep.
who's your prediction?
My prediction is gonna be I'm still gonna go for Energy Pacemakers. They've just been looking so strong. I'm feeling like they're gonna take a 2-0.
All right. Well, I believe in the TongFu.WanZhou draft, but maybe not their ability to execute it. So I'm going to reluctantly say I think EP is just the better team and take Shiver's side on this one.
Yeah, I agree. Like TongFu.WanZhou, sure. Individual skill-wise, they've definitely drafted this because of that. It seems it's quite heavily skewed to individual skill rather than overall play. Maybe pairings of players together, but I think game number 1, EP.
All right. Everyone believes in Epine.
Sind, you had to do it.
Yep, someone had to say it. I'm all about the tank memes.
Well, with that,
Sorry,
Sind, your
I got
prediction?
a death stare from LD. My day is perfect. Got him triggered. Yes. All right. There's a bounty rune for Wind Ranger. Nobody wants the other one. Beastmaster's like, I wonder if there's one on the other side of the river. Yep.
Oh, hey, this is mine.
You got it. All right. So we've got a Beastmaster level 1.5. We've got a Tinker level 1.5. They're facing. Oh, sorry, Wind Ranger. They're facing off in the mid. So pretty even split there.
He did go for Stout Shield.
He did get the stout. He's gonna get a fairly quick bottle here. He needs like 4 CS for that. And then no 5. Top lane disrupt. Wait. No, just clock. So
Yeah.
both teams are playing. No, there's a 2-1-2 from EP. They're playing Drow Venge. This is actually a lane where Clockwork should get quite a lot. Venge is short range. She actually can't attack him in the cogs, I think. And then the bottom lane, they're keeping Batrider safe this way. I think this is smart laning from EP.
Yeah, this means Bat doesn't get caught out at all, and Clockwork, like I said, he can get up in the face of one or the other, whether the Avenger is pulling, he can get in there, leech experience. If Drow is having to tank up a wave, things can get pretty rough. I am not LD.
Thank God.
What? Cinder's on a roll today with the flames.
Yep.
Still salty for me.
So a pretty defensive lane down a bot for the Batrider, but he's always going to secure these last hits. Once he gets Tranquils, he could head into the jungle if he feels a little bit threatened, but jungling with Batrider nowadays, it's nowhere near as good as it was before. With a reduced bounty on neutral creeps, it still takes a little bit longer for him to get that, really fast blink dagger.
Yeah, the jungle will be fully accessible though. They haven't blocked anything. I'm guessing Venge will focus quite a bit on stacking. As far as farm exchanges go, probably... I guess this Tinker should actually be getting almost free farm. I don't really see them contesting him much, so this should be a fairly quick Boots of Travel into Blink. That's the standard build. Probably Boots of Travel. If he wants to get it at the very first, I think he wants Bottle or Soul Ring, or maybe even both, before the Boots.
Yeah, Soul Ring on the level 6 rearm because he'll have the jungle to himself. There's no one really that goes and takes the jungle, no Shadow Fiend or anything like that. It's the same over on the Dire. Batrider is the one hero that will go into the jungle. Drow is not going to feel threatened enough to, think, oh, I'm going to leave my lane, got to go and farm the jungle, so she should be fine up at top. But it's not going to be crowded for either side.
No one's focusing on stacking at all yet. I feel like TongFu are kind of wasting their time here by just standing 2 heroes. They're not really aggressing. Both the Disruptor and AA essentially just leeching a bit of experience when one of them could probably just go and stack the jungle. I think stacking with AA here and just keeping Disruptor in the lane is going to keep Tinker safe. They can't go on him. They can always just glimpse away the bat when he tries to dive, and there is no counterplay. So...
Well, Wind Ranger's
Need to
having a
up the
good time.
efficiency a little bit.
Yeah, Wind Ranger's having a good time at mid though, 12 and 6. The Beastmaster 7 and 3, pushing up hard though onto Old Chicken. A few right clicks in here, but he doesn't have a board to slow him down. Windrun always available, but Old Chicken's now behind his tower with. Does Old Chicken have his bottle right now on the way on the courier?
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, this is looking good for EP in the start in the laning phase, as expected. They just seem to always get the better CS. So in terms of just raw mechanical skill and timing in the lanes, this is not an uncommon sight for this qualifier.
The ability to contest that pull spot as well. Didn't really think about that. The Batrider obviously can do it over on the Dire side, just get into the jungle pretty easily, but with the Abaddon there, just impunity. He's not afraid of anything.
And Tinker isn't the best at fighting this right now, and he doesn't want to move away from the lane, so they're going to get quite a bit out of this. The Batrider's sitting on 10 CS already in the off lane, which he definitely would not have had alone. He can just kind of play like he wants because of the Abaddon.
Clock getting wrapped around on. Venge thinking about it. Back and forth a little bit here. LT in the fog. Perfect placement. Just waiting in the wings as the pull through has happened. Clockwork gets it across into that large camp, and now is that spotted out? Yeah, he sees her. Looking down the ramp. Hey, Venge, how you doing? Oh, bot lane. Tinker's caught actually here, but the Batrider losing his HP at a drastic rate. The missile comes out. Bat, small to Thunder. Where's the lightning as the glimpse does drag back the Abaddon? Aphotic shield onto him. Jin-Q, what have you got left? Your laser's gone. Do you have rockets? I'm pretty sure he's gone for the March build, and there's no one going to fall on this bottom lane.
They were really close to getting the AA, I think, or to getting the bat. I think AA might have actually cancelled an attack by mistake there with the chilling touch on, underestimating how long time it took him to throw out the last shot they would have needed, but regardless, yeah, very close call. Of course, TongFu's lane, triple ranged with Chilling Touch, does deal a lot of damage to the Batrider. He needs to not underestimate that, but he got out alive. I think he actually stays in the lane. I guess he got salved by the Abaddon, or he just ate like 3 tangos, and he's going to be just fine for now.
Is that a sentry over at the Radiant Large Camp west side? So they've blocked that up as an observer, actually. So blocking up so the Beastmaster can't stack with boars and things like that. That would be a good way to catch up with Wind Ranger. He's not that far behind, but still, it's a great way. Yeah, look, he's sending the boar over, and it's like, hang on a second. There's nothing here for me to do.
Yeah, I guess the worst thing is actually if he tries to counter ward now, because he's going to do it so late that it's kind of a waste of a sentry. It's about, that ward I think has 1 minute left on it, so the camp's going to spawn again at 7, and this one is actually blocking too.
No. Just out of range. Yeah, look at the pings. They know where it is. So Jin-Q going for the Soul Ring straight up. Just max out that march and clear through camps. Going to see Thunder Strike, Aphotic Shield. Batrider on this lane is unkillable.
I think TongFu aren't really getting enough out of their safe lane. The problem with the support duo is that rotating to gank is very difficult. Disruptor and AA really not their best ganking duo. Disruptor might have a shot at the top lane, or okay, it's actually Beastmaster will go up there.
And another Disruptor's coming up here. Level 6 Invis Beastmaster looking for the go with the roars. X-Bingo's not really got too much mana though. They're just going to try and go in behind. Fan caught, roared there. Cogs, Battery Assault, going to throw something. The Rocket Flare to do a tiny bit of damage, but in comes Lure, the Abaddon, Aphotic Shield, a missed coil, and again Fan escapes with a tiny bit of HP, turns back with the Frost Arrows, and Beastmaster drops. Sayaka, what's her escape route? Because the Wind Ranger, Shackle Shot, and early Goblin Focus Fire. Well, looked like maybe, a quick and easy one over on the Drow Ranger. Turns out to be a great reaction for EP.
This was an instant TP from Abaddon, and he actually needed support that fast. A lot of the time when you see defensive TPs, it's like, okay, the enemy team starts diving, you're like, okay, now I need to TP in. He actually had to come in, like, pretty much right after the Roar was cast to even be there on time. He gets off the missed call first, buys him enough time to get in with the Aphotic Shield. Very, very nice play by Energy Pacemaker.
And not only that, but Batrider gets Banter in a bot, gets a little bit of free time down there. They moved so much from these lanes that WanZhou have given up quite a lot. 1600 on that Batrider.
He's going to get a blink minute. Yeah. He can actually just do 2 camps in the jungle now with Firefly, and he's got it. I think this one... Okay, none of them are stacked. He can stack both, I think, if he does it right. So he does...
It's late now.
I think it's possible to pull that big one he just pulled now, and then
Firefly.
Go to the left, and then sticky napalm for a little bit of vision, and then attack one of those, and then run up, I think. Or you can Firefly, but then you've used Firefly, and you kind of don't want to do that right before you farm it. I'm not sure if you can do the napalm stack, but I think you can.
But this is going to put him on about 2,000, so it's still looking pretty good. As the push comes up on top, Catapult Wave, Fan, and LT. There's not much defense. Batrider dropping low in the jungle. The creeps wailing away at that little guy. Beastmaster though, half HP at mid.
Oh, they got tower too. That's actually... He has his blink now, I think. Or he's like...
50 gold off or something like that.
He's going to get it just from passive gold here, just running back to base and running to bot lane. He'll have it. Or he buys a TP. And then
so what's the big target for you? Tinker? Stop him from farming the jungle, get in there? Because Clockwork is still going to be rough, and it's not a as valuable a kill. But then, do you actually value moving all of your heroes down to bot lane to try?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Do the damage to the Tinker.
They can't kill the Tinker until they move either the Venge or the Wind Ranger or both. And they're definitely not moving the Drow. So I think he's just going to focus on winning the top lane for the Drow. Maybe the Wind Ranger gets some help mid as well. Oh, this could actually be dangerous. Oh, he used Wind Run really early. No roar.
There's no follow through.
He got a roar at the courier.
I think I don't know. Just throw it out there.
He could have actually tried. I don't know.
I think the big thing for me is that tier 1 top has fallen already. If they do go for the kill on Tinker and transfer all of their, or 2 or 3 of their heroes there with the Bat Rider, they can take tier 1 bot, limit Tinker's room to farm, and maybe take some stacks in the jungle, because they have been stacked a couple of times here for that Tinker. Yeah, they're doing it now, over on the right-hand side, or they're trying. He's actually clearing through them, so it's a little bit too late for that.
He's really low on health, though, so...
Zeus ult.
It looks like he wants to get the travels before Soul Ring. Okay. Oh, this timing is actually perfect. Oh my god, that is...
Oh, Tinker, do you go for this last hit? They see the Centaur, they know he's there. Bat? Bat? Oh. Go for it! He's smoked up. You're going to blink forward now, Lasso. Ready? Then
wait, he gave up on that?
They saw the Centaur.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised he didn't just try to go for that. Well, they're going to get another kill instead. This is an easy kill on the...
DDR. Yeah. You're not far enough under the tower. The damage from the Wind Ranger, and this is definitely going to be a tier 1 at the very least.
Yeah, so ideally they get the Tinker there, and then they rotate and kill the AA as well. I think he had no TP, so he wouldn't have got out when the Tinker got ganked. So this would have definitely been 2 kills, but they still get... The most important thing out of all of this is the tower. Tinker will be getting his travels very soon, but I think EP have won the laning stage enough. I feel like they've got to be pretty far ahead already. Like, the goal should be even more than this. Yeah, it's 3,000. In 9 minutes. They're 3 kills to 0. They're going to defend this mid-tier 1, I think, fairly easily. And now it's up to Bat to keep getting them towers. He does that by just finding 1 key pick off, and then they just turn into a tower push. This is not an easy game to be a Hawk in, I think. Power Shot, Wave of Terror, Firefly. It's pretty annoying.
Where do you hide the Hawk? So now Tinker has boots of travel, he can move around the map, but their warding for Radiant, not so great if he's actually pushing out these lanes. They've got quite defensive warding, so jungle and bot lane is going to be the only really place he can go to.
And that's scary too, against the Bat Rider.
And look at the dire wards, complete, like polar opposite. They've got aggressive ward on the lane at top, deep wards in the jungle, they're putting sentries down to block all the camps as well.
Tinker actually can't really play the game right now. They have to find a way of opening up the map for him. Generally, at this point in time, you haven't lost your tier 1 tower, or at least you found some sort of trade on the map with the Beastmaster, but they haven't been successful, so he's going to resort to just pushing out mid lane a little bit here with the rockets, and then, I guess, March. And
middle tier 1, the last bastion of hope. How long until AA hits level 6, though? Because maybe then they look for the moving around, sort of a 3 or 4 man rotation, give the Tinker a little bit of space to get into the Blink Dagger. Hook shot, Ice Blast,
yeah,
Roar.
I want to see the Clockwork start doing something. He's just been farming.
He's got treads, not looking too bad, but making an impact is a big thing here for WanZhou.
I don't think he wants to jump this Drow. There's obviously the threat of an Abaddon porting in, or Avenge with a swap. He's actually just going to run up there. Yeah, this is good by Tinker to farm the enemy jungle. He gets some safety from the Hawk, so if you can't farm your own jungle, at least there's 2 of them on the map. But that's all he's going to get. He's going to get that left camp and a little bit of the middle one, but he can't go far into the enemy jungle, and he's going to get ganked easily by Bat Rider.
There's AA hitting level 6. Maybe we'll actually start to see some action happen here from the Clockwork. Roar is available for that Beastmaster as well. They've got the full arsenal there, minus the Storm from Disruptor. But EP, how are they positioned? They're spread pretty thin across the map. Hawk is scouting out the mid-tier 1, and LT up in the creep wave, but smoke around, looking for the, top lane? Cool. Tinker, he should be able to TP out here if he goes now. No, he's going to get caught. Bat Rider blinks in. Last one to him, the TP cancelled out. Shackle Shot will latch and focus fire, gives him the kill onto Jin Q. Fan just walks in and says, yeah, I'll take this experience. The Ice Blast is going to be off the mark on the Drow Ranger, but still hits the other 2 on their retreat.
Oh, this is Abaddon's actually dropping low. Interesting, he didn't skill his ult. on level 6. He is prioritizing the full support route like this. For now, that's going to work, and especially the surprise factor also playing in a lot. Like, you don't want to try to go on an Abaddon on level 6 because you're like, well, he has ult anyway. But, well, what if you don't? They're not going to try anyway. And, well, does he? If he wants to, he could kill himself right now with a miscoil.
So you're sort of holding spells thinking, well, if we use it now, it's just going to pop ult, and then not really worth it.
Alright, he's going to...
Self-sacrificing.
There goes the tower. More or less. AA ult. Oh, that's a good shackle, but I don't know if they can go for this kill.
Tinker comes in, they've got the power shot, glimpse back into the cogs. Kinetic Field is dropped in the roar. Disruptor's already dead though as the Drow tries to turn a fight, but Tinker comes in. March spammed out, rockets, fan, dropping low. They've got the TP back in, and Tinker should be able to find this with a secondary rocket. Rearms up and throws them out. La on the back end, TPing out with, what, 30 HP. That's a really good trade for TongFu.WanZhou. Defending their tier 2.
Oh my... What? That is...
That just nullifies the lead that EP had, right?
Not quite, but that's still crazy. I did not think that was going to be worth 3,000 gold. That's insane. That felt like a 6.83 gold gain to me.
Big swing.
Well, there were a lot of heroes involved. I guess just the proportional amounts that they had there were...
Midas Clockwork. No Force Staff, Blade Mail or anything like that?
Not a fan.
Necro over on that Beastmaster. Now, over on EP, they've got a pretty damn good side at taking Roshan early on if they smoke into there. But on the flip side, Rocket Flare, Hawk, Tinker TPing in. There's so many good ways to react.
But if they see Clock as the Midas, the fighting potential of TongFu is really not that strong. Okay.
Just a follow-up here. Oh, it's Wind Ranger with a focus fire. Now Miss Coil, a couple more hits. LT will find that medallion.
Should have bought a Force Staff. What can I say?
And there we go, into Roshan without the Clockwork. Gonna be pretty rough here to try and contest this. Nice blast, but it's gonna annoy the Vengeful Spirit with the minus armor, the medallion. They'll be able to rip through this, no problem. Tinker, where's he hiding right now? Is he back in base, TPing towards mid lane? The Hawk in the trees. As Jinkyu looks to push out this mid.
So they get the Roche for free, including a Clockwork kill. So I think I get the thought process behind the Midas. It is, okay, we have a Tinker as our only real core. I might need to get really farmed so that we can actually manage a mid-game, but it's just now they might even struggle to get to a good mid-game. If Clockwork... He's literally just a hook right now. His net worth is... not representative, because the attack speed from this is almost useless on the hero. So his current net worth is about 2.7k. Plus the Midas, which is going to level him up, and it's going to be useful in like 5 to 10 minutes with the level 11 he gets at that point. But
yeah, it's skewed pretty hard, so even though it looks like it's 500 gold behind the bat has Blink Force.
Yeah.
So he's got massive
is way
initiation.
More useful right now. He could have bought a Force Staff, he could have bought a Blade Mail if he wanted to take that route.
These Dire Observers just keep on giving. A lot of them focused on, where Tinker may be TPing to and just watching for people sitting behind the Tinker, I feel, is more important as well. Disruptor and maybe the Clockwork, but AA. Clockwork gonna find that Observer Ward. Radiant Sentry, is that? Oh, it's up on the cliff. They can't get up to it.
Can he?
TQ, come on, the Hawk's there. You've got to right-click it down. The Small Tooth Thunder will get hit by a couple of rockets. Fireflies away.
It's a power shot. Not really finding anything. They're going to counter ward too, so... I guess that favors TongFu a little bit. They get some control back over their own jungle. And, well...
And Blink is 200 away for that Tinker.
Yeah, he's still not going to be safe against the Bat Rider, but it's definitely... It's the way to go. And you've got to have the concern for EP that how do they end the game? At some point, they're going to be looking to push, and they'll be pushing into March, into AA ult, into Rocket, Glimpse, and Wild Axes, and even the threat of a Roar, which I guess Beastmaster will be itemizing after the Necro book. I would assume he's going to get a Blink Dagger at that point, so...
Oh, good hook shot. Finds old chicken. He does Force Staff over though. The Wind Ranger glimpse back behind the cogs. Kinetic Field will trap him in place, and the Ice Blast good. Roar now onto LT. The Avenger gonna drop shortly after, and Small Tooth Thunder. Time to get the hell out of here.
That's a tower too, I think. There are 4 heroes down here. Tinker can always join. They have the Necro book used.
We saw how scared the Drow and Abaddon were, hiding behind their tier 2 at top. I don't know if they wanted to smoke up and go somewhere, or if they're just scared of maybe the smoke through between the 2 towers at top.
Yeah, this tower is gone.
Now, Drow Ranger we saw.
They're trying to trade. That's okay, I guess. They're considering the circumstances, EP, I think they get the more valuable tower. The bottom tier 1 for Radiant is not really that good. Doesn't provide any crucial access points. It allows them to go in and maybe ward behind the Ancients, which can be nice, but the mid tier 1 tower for the Radiant easily more important. Now they have this avenue of getting to the Radiant Ancients. They can get in and ward at the small camp there, and maybe even smoke gank through that avenue, which is a lot easier sometime than going across the river up into the...
There's the Midas paying off. 2 level advantage, well, sort of level and a half advantage over the Batrider. But yeah.
Could also be the gank he just got, who knows.
It's everything. Abaddon 0, 0, and 3.
This Midas, so good.
You flamed it.
Oh, he's getting quite a bit of gold now, obviously, because they did get that successful fight, and if that fight hadn't happened and he wouldn't have got all of that out of it, and EP would have taken a good fight now, like this could have been the other way around. Like, and him lacking a utility item could have ultimately resulted in a very different curve than the one we see here. But they found the right opening, and ultimately, on Clockwork, the most important thing is that you're in the right place at the right time. And then, even with a Hand of Midas, you can be very, very useful just then. So, yeah, maybe it's gonna turn. Maybe it's gonna pay off here. Almost Necro 3 on Beast.
Oh wow, that's pretty damn good.
Minute 18. This is a decent timing. 72 CS. He's 2-1-1.
Sanjin Yasha over on the Drow Ranger. We didn't see the Mask of Manus, which is, you know, expected against all of the burst and spam, like LD was mentioning earlier. But going for the S and Y, sometimes, you know, you see the Yasha into BKB, you just have the sort of value Yasha for attack, movement speed, and farming efficiency, but not valuing BKB here. I guess it's still very early on. You want a full duration BKB once, you know, 25, 30 minutes into the game. That surprise, hey look, you can't really touch me.
Yeah, if they're taking the farming route, this is probably better for now. If they were looking to siege towers very soon, I think BKB would have definitely been a better choice. It's the best way of counterplaying the Tinker. It's generally the best item against the Tinker. It's great against Disruptor. Sure, you can get roared, but they can remove that with a Photic Shield. He needs to be careful he doesn't pop his ult here.
It wouldn't be too bad. About Arcane Boots, what kind of build do you expect after this? Because he's quite an unusual hero with item build in particular, so like a 4-staff obviously is be great up against the Clockwork, things like that. Save your teammates, save yourself, but it takes a while to build up into for a 5-roll Abaddon.
He could go for Vlad's as well. It's actually a more expensive item than 4-staff now with the change, but it's an easy build-up. The most expensive item is the Morbid Mask, and everything else in it is pretty cheap, so that would be a potential choice. They get so much damage from having the Vlad's aura and the Drow aura together. Alternatively, like you said, 4-staff can be good. He could try for a mech. I don't think he can afford it, though. Well, then he can't afford a Vlad's either, so what kind of argument is that? So, what's the best? Mech isn't that good against AA, depending on the way they fight.
Yeah. Like,
it's difficult.
The thing is with EP, if you look, like, sort of think about how they'll set up their fights. Drow Ranger and Wind Ranger are sort of near the front, but then they're going to have 3 heroes offset from that. So having a 5-man Ice Blast is going to be relatively difficult. Venge will be in the wings. Abaddon, off from her.
There we go. That's what we were talking about.
Okay.
It's actually probably the best item they can get right now if they can put it to use. Like, moving map control from the Beastmaster team is always very important.
So much focus has been on warding here from EP anyway. The Wolves look out for Tinker and things like that. What's they put out there? Disruptor?
Venge. I don't know if she wants to turn that into anything or if it's just casual. I guess Glimmer Cape would actually be another nice item for Abaddon. He does have the mana pool for it with the Arcane Boots. I actually think out of all the suggestions we've talked about, I think Glimmer Cape is actually the best choce in this game.
Glimmer Cape has kind of become the replacement of 4-staff in
some games.
Yeah.
Last game we had 4 4-staff.
Against the Clockwork.
Yeah.
I was going to say, unless you're against the Clockwork, where 4-staff is infinitely more useful.
But there's quite a bit of merit to getting Glimmer Cape against Tinker. Even when you're against a Clockwork, a lot of the time, Tinker will try to jump in and just burst a target, and his cast times aren't like ridiculously short, so you can actually counterplay it with Glimmer. Speaking of Glimmer, AA almost has one now.
They're going to move to defend their tier 2. Do they know they're all up on the ramp? The Xingqiu blinks back. Sayaka going to get caught here. The Shackle Shot will launch from creep to hero. Dragged back into the tower. Now wants the reaction. Good gust. Stopping the roar, but Hookshot catches 2 in the cogs. Bat, where is your plan? You can't blink, you can't jump. Roar goes out now as EP lose the Drow. In exchange for that Disruptor, as LT is on his way out of here. YCYK now shackled up again. Old Chicken with a blaze. Xingqiu looking for the big one, though. March across. And it looks like it's going to be a 3 for 2 as EP are on the retreat.
It's a really good hook shot.
No objective here gained, but killing the Drow Ranger here when she needs to keep the momentum going, it's a massive deal and a whole bunch of levels for your hero.
They got 1,000 gold, they got a 1,500 experience swing, and what was I going to say? The hook shot is really what set that up. He got in very nicely, got the 2-hero cog. Abaddon was caught in a little bit of a weird spot, and even though Beastmaster dies, he got all his spells off, and he has the Necro book, so he's not really the hero you want to kill early. If you can find a better target, like the priority kill is probably Tinker if you can manage, so he doesn't get to do a lot of damage from the backline. Oh, wait a second, he's gonna get glimpsed. He's in a lot of trouble.
Oh, wait. Forces out of the kinetic field. They go for the Tinker. Everything thrown his way. But that fight was Energy Pacemaker sort of basically being in a conga line walking towards that tier 2. They weren't set up, they weren't prepared for a 5v5. They then tried to get into position, but everything sort of rotated the wrong way. TongFu.WanZhou were up on the high ground, they knew where they were coming from, they got the vision, the Hawk was ready, and things just didn't go EP's way. Roshan, when do you respawn, buddy? Very, very quickly.
That's a really fast respawn. I think this actually favors EP. They might have a shot at just pushing out the bottom lane and getting in for the Roche very soon. They are, however, all at top, and this, well, the Hawk might have scouted it out. I feel like TongFu have a pretty bad lineup at killing Roche, though, so I don't think they're actually even going to try for it. But if this siege fails, if they somehow lose a couple of heroes here, it's probably going to cost them a Roche, too, so they need to be really, really careful. EP might just try to dodge, though, but that's, well, they might not feel like they're in a position to hold this tower. Maybe they aren't, actually.
Zex Bingo on the front lines. Good hook shot again onto 2. Old Chicken caught with Small Tooth Thunder. The 4 steps out though. Ice Blast not gonna clip anybody. But Tinker seeping onto the Hawk. Rocket spam out. The caught YCYK. The Shackle Shot and Lasso though overlapping, not chained perfectly. And now YCYK is actually caught on the wrong side of the kinetic field. Zex Bingo on the retreat. 1 for 0. That's Fan. Hasted clockwork. Lucky there for him.
This is actually Roche, I think, if they do it right. Beastmaster's out for 35, or they force his buyback. If they go down there very quickly and use their medallion and the focus fire and everything, I believe he will have focus fire in like 10 or 15 seconds, probably.
They don't know it's up, though.
Oh, 30 seconds, actually. Okay, maybe they can't do it then. This is a bit too long of a cooldown.
Limited mana over in the Dire. Batrider now scouted out, so then Roshan's there.
I think
the timing window is pretty tight, and Rocket Flare flying across. Okay, they know they're not doing it, so Beastmaster's going to hold on to their buyback. I'm not going to rush anything just now. BKB being built up by the Bat. Up against all this magic nuke spam. Lincoln's, oh.
Good counter to Roar, good counter to Tinker.
Glimpse as well.
Glimpse, you will at least be able to block a Dagon or a Laser if we're talking Tinker. It's a decent item. I have a feeling he wants to put it on Drow more than keep it on himself. We'll see, this Rocket does spot out the 3, but not the Bat. This could actually work out very well for EP if he stuck around there, because the other heroes, they don't know what's going on.
Invis about to wear off, and the smoke through. He blinks across, but EP...
If only he knew where they were. He could have easily broken that smoke and got out.
Oh, they go back, hiding behind their tier 2, as WanZhou still smoked up, expecting EP to be, moving towards Roshan at this moment in time. They can't, right? They can't go in there and take it.
No. Well, yes, but they need a lot of time to do this with a Beastmaster. If he's not using the book for it, it's the book they need to kill the Roche.
Sit in the pit and wait. Oh, they're going to go for this, but response here from EP. They handed their way down. Batrider, Firefly over, going to catch the Tinker here. Lasso's him up, and the Wave of Terror flying across. Jinkyu is caught. It's a good hook shot, but the Static Storm is not going to do too much here. Tinker buys back. Is going to return straight into this fight. Can't get in there.
Oh, Roar the Lincoln!
Roar! YCYK not getting the most out of that spell, so now a 2 for 1 as EP are holding high ground. They've got the strategical advantage here, and there's no real way for WanZhou. Sayaka, the Flame Break cancels out his TP, and Jinkyu, his buyback, going to be a dieback. WanZhou losing hero after hero, and like you said, a lost fight here. Roshan for EP, even though there are 3 heroes down. Fan with the lifesteal, no, still not going to go in there.
I actually think they might be able to do this with the Venge alive. They might be a little bit hesitant. They don't know exactly when Hookshot is up again, and
that's true.
There's a little bit of a risk. There's also the AA ult they need to consider, then the lifesteal won't work. I think it's just going to leech up from these Ancients, and then All right, he's actually going top. A little bit surprised. I think they could have tried for this, all in all. With Abaddon alive, with Venge alive. But they're playing it safe. I think they gained about 3k from that fight. Drow overtook Tinker, who was actually 2k ahead of her, but the dieback, as well as Drow getting a kill or two there, is really... It's a big swing. Love that Clock got the Force Staff, by the way. So he did get the item I thought he should. He went for the Midas build-up first, though, and if you look at the actual, like his inventory right now, I want to say the Midas still hasn't really paid for itself. I think he would have had these items anyway.
Yeah,
if he didn't get Midas, Force Staff and Point Booster, and he would have had 1 level less. But level 12 for Clock is not that crucial of a level, so...
Well, into Roche they go. The Rocket Flare instantly scouts them out, but the Midas Armor...
Yeah, this is gone.
I don't know, TongFu.WanZhou, they've got 2 heroes mid. The Ice Blasting to come in. Tinker actually pretty ballsy there. Baits out the Bat Blink, and now the Roar onto Small Tooth Thunder, but he's up on the cliff. The fog hiding him. Fan turns back to fight the Clockworker, hooked in, sends a Bat right up onto the cliff. But Clock has killed off the Venge. Bat still caught Zexbigger with a DD. Doesn't really matter when you've got Fan chasing you down with Frost Arrows. Flips back to the same position.
Well, that's actually really important. Tinker has no way of getting back into the fight now. They killed both Necro units. There's no Hawk. And
that's a good creep wave over there. Throws the rockets out. Agency Model is still there. Bat going up onto the high ground. Spicy YK, there's the lasso. They found the Tinker again. Fan has the damage. Good gust onto the Beastmaster. And Jin-Q once again falls. Ice Blast not going to hit any enemy targets. But Old Chicken, your Wind Ranger, actually sort of dancing with the Beastmaster there. Back and forth. He blocks himself out. The boar spawns in front of him. His one route of escape. Foiled by his little pet.
I guess fortunately for him, he probably would have died anyway. Else he would have been punching himself in the face right now over the boar spawn. But yeah, another good fight for EP. They got Roche. Wow, look at this roller coaster. They kind of gave it back to TongFu a little bit, and now back where I don't want to say where we started, but we're back to 5 minutes ago in terms of lead, more or less. And this time I have a feeling they're going to hold it better. They have level 16 on Drow. It really makes their lineup. This is 62 base damage on every single hero. Or every single ranged hero, rather. So everyone else in Abaddon hits really hard. They have the Aegis now to play around with. And it just seems like the Tinker of Xin-Q is actually making no progress. Yep. He's got... What's the Dagon? Is it Dagon? The Dagon 3 at minute 29 is really not that good. For 200 CS, this is not that big of an inventory. He's died 4 times. He bought back once, I want to say. Maybe twice? No, once.
He's TPing in sort of ahead of his team. Throwing out rockets, and his positioning has been okay, but the spells from TongFu.WanZhou come out initially, at the start of the fight. The Roar, the hookshot, everything just gets blown instantly. Then the Tinker's sort of standing there thinking, hang on, I'm the main source of damage here. If I get lassoed or if I get gusted, Beastmaster, like the gusts have been great from Fan on this Drow Ranger. Beastmaster has had an awful situation trying to get these Roars out. The first Lincolns, that got popped by the Roar, but still gusted, always being focused on that Beastmaster.
They're going to try to spread the map here a little bit. Tinker porting top. They've got to apply some pressure globally so that they can start playing the game their way instead of EP's way, which they've been focusing quite a lot on these 5-on-5 engagements where I think TongFu are better suited to play a little bit more skirmish, but EP are now in a position where they can force the team fights by just going 5 heroes down the lane. They push way faster than TongFu, and at the very least what TongFu can do is they can push out the lanes before this fight happens so that EP won't get more than a tier 2.
And look at their spread. This is what I was talking about. Wind Ranger and Drow on the front, Abaddon, Venge, and Bat Rider nowhere near each other. So hitting an Ice Blast there, maybe they can, solo someone down with a Clockwork and then Roar another, but all of this single target, you have to choose different targets. You can't go bam, bam, bam onto one guy because you don't really have the damage to follow up on it.
No, and you can always just swap or Aphotic Shield, yep. So it's very difficult for TongFu to take these team fights right now. We almost got a Scotty, by the way, on the Drow. It's very, very close to a full Scotty here. I think he's got another few hundred gold to go, or maybe not even. I don't know if he has it. Okay, so another 400 from after this column. And
lots of stat points.
Okay, he's just gonna buy it. He sold something. He is really, really farmed. 3,000 health. That's what you get when you get Sanjin Yasha for strength, BKB for strength, treads, and a Scotty. It's actually a really good item here on the Drow. You want to just tank up and not be able to be burst down by the Tinker.
Yeah. So with Medallion and Wave of Terror, he's doing close to 400 damage, or maybe even more per hit on the Drow.
Yeah, I think so. What's his... Oh, wow, that was really close. Tinker needs to be very, very careful. Yeah, so he's got 325 without Vanjora, which is a good 30-something%, right? 36, I think? Oh, he's only got level 3, so yeah. We're close to 400.
Now safeguarding their own jungle. Tinker, where do you go? Into his own. Pushes out the bot lane, looking to sort that out. But 4 heroes from WanZhou here, and this is the issue. There's no one really that can go and farm efficiently. They can't spread thin. All of their team fight comes in one big burst. Roshan, he has quite a while until he respawns back up. Aegis Immortal goes in, what, 20 seconds? 15 seconds, something like that. So EP, they have to be wary of this timer. But
I don't think Drow can die.
Yeah.
That's actually the problem. Like, even without the Aegis, they're going to be in a situation where they're forced to go on the Drow. The best possible play TongFu can make is to force staff Drow into their own base, so use it aggressively. They might just be able to hold with March for now and just buy time, but this is not... They're not really buying time for themselves only. They're also buying time for EP, who are scaling probably just as well as they are, if not even better, and are controlling the map better as well. So it's like they kind of have to turtle, but they don't want to. So
another fast
really
spawn on Roshan.
Yep.
30 seconds after the 3-minute mark.
And EP are going to get this Rosh for sure. Yeah. They just need to find out that it's spawned, then they can just go and snipe it.
Glimmer Cape is nearly done for the Venger if she wants it. And we're seeing Tinkerward's getting thrown out all across the map. There's one over on the west side, but do you try and focus on this Tinker too much? Or do you just want to try and group up into one area, control the enemy jungle, make sure the Tinker only has one place to go? Because he likes going to one lane, TPing back to another, TP back, and try and keep all of the lanes, or at least 2 of the lanes pushed out, so there's another lane for the rest of his team to go.
Oh, whoa. Okay. Oh my god. Those are Manta illusions. I think. Oh, just... No, regular illusions. No Manta illusions. He doesn't have Manta yet, I think. But, wow. Now, well, if he had a Manta, he would have farmed it in 30 seconds, so that's quite impressive.
So, next selected for Tinker, Ghost Scepter, right?
Yeah, I think he needs it. He has to get a Ghost Scepter against this right click. Alternatively, he can really try to play in position and just maybe get either Shivas or... He's actually going to get a Bloodstone. I really don't think that's the item right now. He wants to try to become relevant and get a Bloodstone here so he can... Maybe rack up some kills.
Spam rockets.
Just spam out defense, but I don't think this is going to cut it. He is close to it, though, of course, with the build-up from Soul Ring. Yeah. But he might want to buy another Soul Ring after that. It's just such an essential item on Tinker to have that you often see Tinkers get both Soul Ring and Bloodstone when they go for that build.
Yeah, you rebuy the Soul Ring.
Yeah. So he's probably going to have to do that. Defensive ward here. Or was that a dire ward? I didn't actually see. It's a Radiant ward.
Wow.
Yeah, they've protected outside their base there for 5 minutes with that ward. That really goes to show how cornered they are. When you ward right outside your base like that, they're doing the same in the top lane. They have like no space on the map at all. That's essentially great. Okay.
Even though there's a gem on,
see it
on the Abaddon. And the ward's still not counted out? Oh, it's on the Bat Rider now. Okay.
Yeah.
So swap that over top lane. Xin-Q is in the trees. Will TP himself away. But Old Chicken just looking to try and force this back. Don't give them any room to maneuver. TongFu.WanZhou. Where are we sitting for this Beastmaster? What did he get after the Necro 3? Is he looking towards a Blink Dagger? Boots of Travel actually went for. So
I think he's getting... It's actually hard for him to itemize in this game. In one way, he really wants the Blink, but at the same time, a Refresher could probably be necessary for them to actually have enough output of damage in the fight and enough control. Like, I wouldn't disagree if he gets Refresher here, but I do think it's going to be a Blink.
Yeah,
I don't. It just feels like that won't make a difference. Actually, it's going to be almost completely irrelevant in this game. Whoever he roars, there's just swap Aphotic Shield or Glimmer Cape, and then what are you going to do? They don't have physical damage, so when someone gets glimmered, it's actually a really big deal.
Yeah, aggressive options for WanZhou are limited, to say the least. With Small Tooth Thunder, 2,000 gold in the bank after his BKB was done. LT still sitting near him.
Good Mask Madness. Come on.
Well, the bat. Yeah.
That or Ewells.
Yeah, Ewells wouldn't be too bad. Send the clock in there or something like that.
Just a blink.
Or even the Tinker. You know, cancel out that TP, stop his blink back. Xin-Q, Bloodstone done there. There's a secondary Soul Ring ready for him.
Yeah, he's going to keep trying to farm. He's actually doing a pretty good job in terms of just staying relevant with his net worth, but it just feels like it's not really... Okay, do you ever want to port out?
Nope, he's scared. Look, he's even TPing to his tier 3. That's how scared he is. Don't know exactly where EP are, but they're all getting ready around that rush pit because the big man has respawned, waiting for them to come and take him. Bad Rider is on the front lines. Firefly looking for the jump onto someone. Gonna go here into the jungle. Sayaka is there. The rocket player's not actually gonna scat anyone out. Oh, he jumps and Zex Bingo. Just out of range, 4 steps away. That's more of a, you know, I'm gonna scare you. I don't really want to go in here. But they force WanZhou back a little bit because of that threat of EP grouping up into their own jungle, and Old Chicken actually goes in here. No Drow, no Venge, but they're still gonna take it down relatively quickly. There we go. There's the Venge Medallion. Ice Blast will fly across, but 3 heroes mid for WanZhou, 2 up at the top rune spot. There's no real way to enter this pit. From Fan, were they just immortal? He's got that Chrysalis as well. Heading into Daedalus, he just wants raw damage output.
I think it's siege time for EP. Oh, well, it doesn't have to be siege time, but I think this is like a really good timing for them. They have the Aegis. Tinker is still not dealing enough damage. He has a Dagon 5, I do believe, but that's kind of all their damage output, and they do have Glimmer Cape against it, and of course, just a lot of armor in general, and the Drow for multi-agility. They just put on the Photic Shield on him if they want. They keep the swap behind. He should be able to fairly easily go and go for this. If they had a pipe, this would be a lot easier, so they could make sure the creep wave stays alive against these 15 marches, but they might actually have found the timing here. Tinker is back getting mana. Oh. And they managed to get in. This is a really big deal.
You're looking for the vision for Bat. His Firefly done those. Lincoln just popped an Old Chicken. Ice Blast does hit 3 for once. AP's positioning not perfect. Hook shot. Does that land on a creep? It misses. Glimpse back onto Fan. Trapped in the kinetic field, but follow through as he's still on, what, 2,000 HP? 1,700. No Dagons, no rockets or lasers going to get through that. And the heal from Le. You know, even though they've got the rocket spam, it's kind of tickling the Wind Ranger and the Drow. But if it hits the Venge, you just heal her back up. Shield yourself, miscoil across, tier 3 has fallen. Sayaka looking for the play, goes in, static storm getting field, no back and forth. He's thinking about it, there we go, on to 2, but they have to get out, 4 stab away. The Bat Rider with that BKB, Zex Bingo is caught. Fan still Aegis the Immortal. If you're focusing Fan, you've still got to get through a second life. Now the rest of his team just rips them apart. WanZhou lose 2, Tinker trying to get back in here, but 3 shot. The Glimmer Cape just saves the Disruptor as Fan focuses on the racks. 1 objective taken, 1 lane gone. Time to back up, and that's all EP wanted.
Yeah,
Use Aegis, get racks.
They can wait for the next Aegis and do the same again in the top lane or mid lane probably. Drow is going to have Daedalus now. I don't know if there were any other big items that come up here. They still have the cheese and Old Chicken, so maybe they actually give that to Drow and try another lane. That's not out of the question. Should probably have to drop the Morbid Mask to do that, but I think that's actually completely fine. If she buys the Daedalus right now, that tower is going to fall really quickly. With all the damage they have. There's so much gold on 3 of the heroes actually here. Bad Rider 4.2k, 4.6 on the Wind Ranger. Might see something picked up by her as well. I'm thinking...
Damage for Wind Ranger like a Hex for the Bat?
She could get a Daedalus as well. I feel like they would benefit from auras. Like, do they still not have a Vlad's AC or anything? No.
Nope. They're bad and picked up a Yule, so he goes for Boot to travel on the Bat, so a little more mobility. No Mask of Madness, no Hex.
I actually think the Venge should get a Vlad's. She went for a Blink, which is cute, but I don't feel like they've needed it this game. So, well, they haven't needed the Vlad's either, so...
True.
You know, they could maybe get almost anything at this point with a 20k lead, but...
Did Drow just disassemble S and Y to get a Manta? Did she keep the sand?
It's good.
Or did she sell it? She keeps it.
She's going to sell it, I think. Just waiting for it to go back.
Oh, there's Demon Edge for that Wind Ranger, so MKB or Daedalus? Or Rapier? Yeah, let's go for the Rapier.
That's the Daedalus.
Well, the thing is, if you give the Rapier away, BKB, Bat Rider catches Zex Bingo. The roll, though, onto the Bat does hold him in place. Good Static Storm, a Baton trapped in the kinetic field, but Glimmer Cape onto him will allow him to escape just a tiny bit. Jin Q again has gone aggressive and gets caught out. Blinks forward into the middle of 3. And the way this Drow Ranger is throwing those arrows around to swap the Blink, the Beastmaster, back and forth, but it looks like he'll get slowed down by the sticky napalm and caught. Fan, no, Jinkyu re-enters the fight. Did he buy back? Looks like he did, and now Dagon spam out. The Bat still tanking through it all. The Blink forward, YCYK does get that final right click in there. The Abaddon not in time to get Miscoil or Shield. Now needs to kind of turn around and get one more right click. Denied by a neutral creep. Lur didn't want to steal it from his carry.
I think he might have a cooldown in Miscoil. I think he used it before, but...
He could have hit him. Could have punched him with a sword.
Yeah, maybe. I guess he thought it was pretty unlikely he was going to manage to die to that small camp, but he timed it right.
2 Drow illusions, slowing him down with the Scotty, you know. I don't expect him to just die. So, fat old chicken, the Drowned Wind Ranger. Best of buddies up on the top lane. Even though they were the same person.
I don't know if Tinker can...
Oh, no damage!
They're going to buy back Beast. Alright, that's probably good enough for EP for now. Well, they're currently at 3 on 5. So.
Abaddon, Jinkyu looking for the go. Hookshot does land on the Abaddon. He's got his ultimate. Do they turn and fight here? EP Fan does want to try and get the Gust out, but I think they just give up this kill on Abaddon. There's no reason to put your 2 carries in danger for... Oh, it's a gem. It's a gem on the Abaddon. But still, Roast actually goes through here. Tinker looking to TP and maybe Fan is caught, but where's the Tinker? In the backlines, hookshot now. In from Zex Bingo, catches Fan in the cogs, and the Drow Ranger turns to fight, but her HP is slowly being whittled away. Zex Bingo double kill as Jinkyu, glimmered, runs. Old Chicken on the retreat. Where's the Bat Rider? Looking for the Rigoose? No, another hookshot. Where's the cogs as Ice Blast does land onto 2, the Firefly, but this is just full retreat mode. Abaddon buys back, so does the Drow. They want to try and turn this fight.
Oh, Tinker just poured in. If he dies now, that's almost game, I think.
Good kill on the cape though. Keeps him back. The Bat Rider's still on the chase.
He's in a hell of a lot of trouble here.
He can't run, he can't hide. Old Chicken's looking for this. Tinker gets a kill and suicides. No.
Oh, he has Bloodstone, so he's actually going to be okay. The death timer isn't long enough. That's okay for TongFu, I guess. They forced a buyback from Drow, buyback from Abaddon. They got a lot out of that, actually. More than I thought they did.
Their tier 4s are being hammered by creeps.
Cheese got used. That's okay. It's not that bad.
One lonely catapult, but a 20k lead for EP. And the way that fight went, it didn't seem like they were that far ahead. Just one by one, it kind of felt, okay, Abaddon dies, the rest of your heroes get out. But Aghanim's on clockwork. He got, what, 3 or 4 hookshots in a row there that were massive, and GG is cold. Surely they've got another fight in them. Clockwork just jumps in, but I don't know. Tinker respawning in 10 seconds. That's
okay.
Interesting.
Actually, they kind of just want to fight. I think they don't realize how much gold they gained there. Okay, that was the least expected GG for me I've seen so far, I think. That was really strange.
Maybe one more fight if you lose that call GG, but expecting maybe to lose at least another lane of Rax there. And maybe
there was 10 seconds on a 5 on 5. They forced a buyback from Drow and Abaddon. If they would have somehow killed Drow, they could have maybe got some really big objective out of that.